Good morning, my name is Sarah, and today I'm going to share a trick I use every morning to help me focus on deep reading. This is a Sula bag, and we're going to take a tour of it today. I use this bag and everything in it to create a distraction-free morning reading practice. But it's not designed for that exactly. The Sula bag is actually designed for artists. It's a studio bag intended to carry an artist's tools, whether for painting, drawing, ceramics, whatever. Though it's a bag, I call it a basket because my journey with my Sula started with a video I saw on YouTube about a popular homeschooling practice called a morning basket. Basically, a basket of supplies with activities that a family uses in the morning before the school day officially starts. It helps families start the day off focused and ready to learn, and putting it in a basket keeps those morning supplies all in one place and easy to find. I don't know anything about homeschooling, so this idea was brand new to me, but I've been getting up super early to do deep work, both reading and writing, for years. So when I saw this homeschooling concept about 2 years ago, I realized I could use it myself. After a long search for the perfect basket, I realized I didn't want a basket, I wanted a bag. And then after a little bit more searching, I found this Sula bag. It's durable and it holds a ton, and you can decorate it with some flair. The point of this bag is that it holds everything I could possibly need for a morning of deep work, so I don't lose any focus by getting up to find a pen or pencil or whatever. I have limited time in the morning, and I live in a small old condo, and too much fuddle-bussing around would wake my family and my downstairs neighbors. So I keep things like more pens and pencils than I could ever possibly need in my morning basket. I use pencils to annotate in my books and pens to write in my journal. The ideal pencil is and always will be a Ticonderoga No. 2, and for a pen, you can't do much better than a good old Bic. Also, I can't use our electric sharpener in the morning while everyone is asleep, so I found this adorable parrotfish mechanical sharpener. The little beak comes off and then there's the sharpener. I love writing with a super sharp pencil, so having the sharpener handy has been a game changer because otherwise I'd spend ages trying to find a sharper pencil to annotate my books. I keep bookmarks in here too, though most of my super fun bookmarks are being used in books right now, but I always keep a stash of random bookmarks and other things that can be used as bookmarks in case of emergency, including things that really definitely aren't bookmarks but will do in a pinch. I have some index cards and post-it notes too, which can come in handy. On one side of the bag, I have something that you might think is a little strange. We have a crystal store around the corner that I love to go visit, and I thought it might be fun to keep some inspirational crystals to magically feed my creativity and focus in the mornings. But actually, I've been using them for a different purpose entirely lately. I'm on some new medication that makes my eyes a bit puffy in the mornings, so I could have bought a fancy quartz face roller from Sephora, or I can just take this little marble in the morning and voila, soothing face roller. Elsewhere in our condo, I have a really cute timer that I was using to help me set blocks of time to focus, but it beeped really loud and could wake everyone up. So I found this 15-minute hourglass. Sometimes I want to work in 15-minute increments, especially if I'm having trouble focusing. Not only is this thing beautiful, it is also silent, which is just what I need. I have a pair of readers that I've been keeping in here lately. I had a big surgery recently, and according to my eye doctor, the general anesthesia from the surgery kind of messed up my vision for a bit. I guess my brain needs a little more time to turn all the way back on after being turned off. So these glasses have been helping me a lot lately. And I also keep a calculator. I can't really explain this. Sometimes I just find myself in need of a calculator in the morning, and having this one keeps me from opening up my phone and using the calculator app. I do not look at any screens until I am done with my morning focus time. That's kind of the point of this morning basket, to keep me away from any other distractions. I also have this little jewelry box that is useful for keeping my sticky tabs organized. I also have a journal that I keep in here for whatever special project I'm working on in the mornings. Right now, I'm digging deep into a concept I'm calling mind-loosening literature. It's literature that interrupts or shakes you out of your usual way of thinking, and I have various books and things I'm reading to help me think about that concept. So I keep the journal to organize all those notes in my morning basket. And the book I'm reading right now in the mornings is part of that project. It's a nonfiction book called The Origin of Stories, Evolution, Cognition, and Fiction by Brian Boyd from Harvard University Press. In this book, Boyd argues that creating and reading fiction is a cognitive adaptation that has played a role in the development of our species. I want a better understanding of why fiction exists and what it does for us and to our brains, and this book has had some great things to say about that. And also right now in my morning basket is a novel called Time of the Flies by Claudia Pinheiro, translated by Frances Riddle and published by Charco Press. If you are new here, this channel is dedicated to books from indie presses like Charco Press, because that's what I like to read, so that's what you'll find in my basket. So there's my basket. I have added a few things in here since filming, so that just means I'll need to do another video tour eventually. But I can't forget about my flare, of course. These pins are from my mom, and actually since filming I've acquired another pin that I'll just have to show you next time. And the cutest last detail is on the inside of the bag. You do you. Let's put everything back and talk about how my mornings usually go. I get up really early and go straight to reading and writing. I've been doing this for years and years, so I don't even need an alarm anymore. I used to get up to write, but lately I've been focusing a lot more on reading in the morning. I started working in the mornings because my days are too busy and my living space is too small. There's nowhere to go away from my family to focus when they're awake, even if I did have the time to. So I use mornings to do the kind of reading that needs the most focus before anyone else gets up. As soon as my son is up, my focus is out the window. Even though he's old enough now to get himself ready for the day, I just prefer to hang out with him than read when he's awake. I do need caffeine first thing, so that is one thing I do before I start in on my morning basket. I used to drink cold brew coffee in the morning, but a few years ago I switched to jasmine green tea. And I don't love caffeine on an empty stomach, so I have a snack, either tea biscuits or a dried date, and that's my basket. Let's go ahead and reenact a morning. Right now it's not morning, so I'm making an herbal tea because I don't need the caffeine at this moment. After I make my tea in the morning, I get out my journal and my book. Often I use my mornings to read a difficult novel that needs my focus, but as I mentioned, lately I've been reading nonfiction about how fiction works on a cognitive level. My process for reading, if I'm working on a particular project, is to read one chapter and annotate in the book as I read, then go back through that chapter and write my thoughts and key quotes in a journal, which then I'll go through again later to pull out and kind of boil down even further those thoughts and those quotes. My morning basket has been a game changer for my focus. It has everything I need for a good reading session. It keeps me organized so that all I need to do is grab my bag and bring it to the table. There's no risk of being distracted by anything else. No screens, no family, just me and my bag. Let's be clear though, this is not a productivity hack. My morning basket has nothing to do with being productive. I do this because it's fun for me. I find it thrilling to get lost in deep thought or to dive deep into a project, whether it's fiction or nonfiction, taking notes or writing myself. I have intentionally not used the word productive at all in this video up to this point. Sometimes my brain does need a minute to wake up before reading dense material, and that's why I always keep a fun novel in my morning basket, in this case the Claudia Pinheiro novel. It feels like a break for my brain without resorting to a screen. My morning basket is a gift I give myself in the morning, a distraction-free space where my brain gets to play. It is decidedly unproductive. It is designed to feel special, but also fit into the natural rhythm of my day, and I highly recommend it. Tell me about your morning practice. Do you have an organized routine or a space that you use? I would love to hear more. Let me know in the comments, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.